happy Christmas, and I hope you enjoy the movie. And what better to have Exodus as Christmas time?
Hello, wie geht's? This is Joel. I play Ramesses in Exodus. I hope you enjoy the movie.
Merry Christmas, and you'll be very happy to see that we've included Santa Claus in the film.
Hallo zusammen bei der Filmfabrik. Es hat ja ein bisschen Tradition schon, dass es Heiligabend ein großes, exklusives Interview-Special gibt. In diesem Jahr von Exodus. Wir haben Ridley Scott, Christian Bale und Joel Edgerton nicht irgendwo getroffen, sondern in Paris.
Happy birthday afterwards, of
Thank
course.
you.
Both of you had lots of big projects in the last time, and how do you get your inspiration and motivation when you wake up in the morning to say, okay, next big project, it's Exodus?
No, it's not next big project, it's next interesting project. And regardless of whether that's big or whether that's small. And I'd wanted to work with Rid for a long time. And I found Moses to be absolutely fascinating. And I would have been an idiot to say no to this because I became quite obsessed.
You would be, yes. And for you? Of course you would.
For me, it's what makes Sammy run. I just tick, and I wake up and go, boom. I'm in the middle of a movie right now. I'm about 5 weeks in on a very nice film called The Martian. And I know what I'm going to do next year, end of next year.
The development of technic devices is breathtaking, but what's easier now to shoot and what's a little bit more difficult than in comparison to your last epic movies like Kingdom of Heaven or Gladiator? What's easier and what's difficult?
Not really. You build it, and I still build quite a lot. I mean, it was still economical. I always have an eye on the budget. I can't. That's part of my DNA. And I would say that, you know, wall for wall, yard for yard, or meter for meter. Kingdom of Heaven was probably parallel in a way to the expenditure on Exodus, but on Exodus I've used far more green screen, but never green screen that they were particularly aware of. Once you're in the outside in the open, there's very little green screen. You've got to have great locations and lots of people. I can add to the people, so if I'm carrying 300, I can add 300,000 easily today, and it's perfect, right? So that's a wonderful tool. It's only a tool.
And you show us a very physical presence in your movies. How do you prepare that? Because you're just so strong in the movies. How do you prepare?
Well, with Moses, he was a general. So I don't think he loved violence, but he was capable of violence. And he was a man who was accustomed to enormous power, both mentally and physically, and someone who is starting a revolution and is recognizing that they're going to have to cut off supply lines, etc. He had to have a physically commanding presence.
Online TV and online video changed the media industry in the last 10 years a lot. What do you like in this development and what do you not like in all these online videos, social media stuff?
Well, I think inevitably what's fantastic about it is the political changes that it can bring about. You know, that people are able to talk and that dictatorships not so able to control that. And so the people's voice can be heard. That seems to be the most beneficial thing from it. And then lots of nice videos about cats.
And sneezing pandas.
Right.
What do you think about?
It's about information, global information. I mean, at the end of the day, it has to be positive, even though sometimes I think it's negative where everyone talks to everyone. But I think at the end of the day, it probably is positive.
Okay, I think last question is Exodus is a next blockbuster movie. Do you watch box office numbers when a movie is released, or do you just...
Not really.
No?
No, I don't. I learned years ago, with the greatest respect, not to read my press.
Okay.
I got thrashed for Blade Runner, and I've never read press since.
Okay. Fools. And what's with you?
I don't ever look at numbers. You know, I decide myself what do I think of the film. It doesn't change my mind on how other people receive it. It's a wonderful thing if it's embraced. I'm human. I love that. But I'm not weak enough in my opinion of a film to alter that opinion based on other people's thoughts about it.
Because I do reviews too, so sometimes it's not very easy because community wants you to love a movie or not to love, so I think both parts are not easy all the time.
No.
So thanks a lot for your time. See you
Thanks.
tomorrow in London. Looking forward, and thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you. And Joe, what was your first reaction as you heard, okay, you are going to be Ramses in Exodus' next Ridley Scott project?
I was like, right, bring it on. What? I was like, I'd been asked about the possibility of doing the project, and it was like, really? You know, on one hand, I was like, I guess in the movie, Moses is approached by God to take on this sort of task, and in my silly and this stupid comparison, there I was going, Ridley Scott, this guy who I see as a bit of a movie god, was asking me to take on this monumental challenge that was just sort of too weird and too interesting not to investigate. So I kind of, I traveled to meet him and have a conversation about it, and then I got sort of, I guess I played dress-ups, and I was like, okay, we're going to make a movie, and I'm going to play...
I can lose my
I'm going to be
hair.
playing the Pharaoh, and we'll lose my hair, and it was sort of weird, but interesting enough that I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
You are allowed to play several characters, and you see places people only dream about. Do you have a kind of all-day routine in this kind of life, or how would you describe your job?
What kind of routine?
Yeah.
It's weird, before I used to, you just float on the wind, really. You don't know what's going to happen next. So, the older I get, I'm trying to look for things to keep me sane and keep me planted in one place. So it's important for me to have a home, and because you just don't know what's going to happen. But part of that is an adventure, and someone tells you one day, okay, today you're going to ride a chariot. And I'm like, okay, I never thought that I would get the opportunity. So a very blessed life in many ways. I'm very lucky to have the opportunities that I have, and I often stop and think I'm a very fortunate person.
Great. And do you have a question you would love to answer, but nobody have asked you yet? So what would it be?
Wow, that's a good question. No, I don't. I think I've been asked so many questions.
So maybe you have anything you
How
want to
could
tell
one man be so intelligent yet so good looking and so strong? No one's ever asked me that.
Okay, so how is it?
I don't know.
To
It
be
just,
so
it
strong
just
and good.
naturally happens. I don't know.
And Exodus is a real blockbuster movie. Do you watch box office numbers, or do you say, I did the movie?
I try not to read the internet anymore. I try not to, it's like a sort of a dark forest you walk through, and at the same time, the success of a movie is partly important to me, and in another regard, it doesn't matter to me. The experience of making the movie is what I find special. At the same time, you really want everybody to see the movies you make. You want to, you put all your energy into something. You want as many people as possible to see them. If I've written a movie or if I've been behind producing a movie, I want I want everybody to go see it. And you make something, you want to share it with everybody. So I hope, every time I make a movie that, the cinemas are full or people watch it.
Online TV has changed the media industry a lot in the last 10 years. What do you like in this development, and what do you don't like?
What's interesting, I used to be like, the whole idea of streaming movies is like, why can't people go to the cinema to watch things? And yet, when I really think about it, you may live close to the cinema, and you have the privilege of being able to watch a movie on a big screen.
someone else might live, 100 miles or 100 kilometers from the cinema, and they don't have the time or the money to travel. So if the movie can be brought to them, I think that's a really wonderful thing. So my attitudes about the internet and the accessibility of movies is great. Someone was telling a story yesterday. Aaron Paul was telling a story about a Blockbuster video store thing, and I was like, wow, that must be an old story, because remember the days where you could go and rent a video? Things change so quickly, and I think it's important for us to keep an open mind to that. A movie like this, it's great if you can see it on big screen.
To see it on big screen.
But TVs are getting bigger,
Yeah.
and cinemas are getting smaller.
That's true. Thanks a lot, and see you tomorrow in London. Have a great day.
Thanks,
see you
man.
tomorrow.
Cheers.
Für mich natürlich immer eine große Ehre, solche Weltstars treffen zu dürfen. Und ihr seid dann auch immer mit dabei. Haben wir doch irgendwie alle was von. Ehrt und freut mich sehr. Jetzt wünsche ich euch aber erstmal richtig schöne Festtage. Heute frohe Weihnachten, richtig kräftig Geschenke unterm Weihnachtsbaum. Mal sehen, hoffentlich ist da niemand enttäuscht. Spaß beiseite, genießt die Zeit. Und auch mit eurer Familie, selbstverständlich könnt ihr immer so gegen 14 oder 17 Uhr bei die Filmfabrik vorbeischauen. Ne? Die 10 Minuten hat man ja immer. Kommen natürlich auch Videos, aber ihr sollt die Zeit genießen, euch mit der Familie besinnen. Ich werde das auf jeden Fall auch tun, deswegen frohe Weihnachten. Vielen lieben Dank und dann sehen wir uns bald wieder bei einer neuen Filmkritik hier bei dieser Filmfabrik. Mit mir.